Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has felt like forever since I've been able to catch a really strong momentum move to the upside using 9EMA, using my Interactive Brokers account to scalp option contracts. I've been very hesitant to try this trading strategy out in the recent market because of the choppiness, because of the volatility, and some of the uncertainty that we've seen. I've been saving cash, I've been protecting my capital, but today I had a really good opportunity present itself on GameStop, and I took it. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I traded GameStop. When I look back at this trade and sort of recap it myself, which I do with most of my trades, it was actually quite easy when you look at the technical analysis. GameStop, AMC, something that you may not believe me if I say this, but is actually very true. It holds technicals extremely well. So when we review this video, you guys will see how well GameStop held some really important technical levels and how the move that we saw could have been pretty predictable if you're used to trading these momentum type trades. So hopefully in today's video, you guys will see how I traded this GameStop play, and maybe it's something that you can learn and take into future trades. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into this. Before we do, make sure to press that like button for me if you enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel for some more option trading videos, and make sure to press that bell notification so that you guys are alerted not only every time I post on the channel, but every single time that I go live in the morning from 8 a.m. to 8:45 a.m. So I'm sure if you guys watch trading videos, investing videos, your YouTube feed is going to be full of AMC and GME videos today. There's probably people uploading them by the second to try to get views. I'm not really here to tell you that I think AMC is going to this price point or GameStop's going to this price point and trying to influence you into trading these or investing in these. I'm just here today to show you a trade that I took, maybe providing some education for you. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. With that said, let's go ahead and jump right into the charts and go over this trade. All right, guys, so jumping into the charts here on GameStop, the first thing that's going to catch your attention is that GameStop is spiking up here in the after hours, and so is AMC. And I am still a holder of one contract of my 210 calls. So let's see what happens tomorrow with these calls. I'll talk to you through why I'm still holding one of my contracts. But the first thing is how I traded GameStop, what I was looking at. Let's walk through this logically because I know there's a lot of stuff that goes on, a lot of bashing about these stocks. But when you really just look at the technicals, sort of ignore all the noise around these stocks, there is some great opportunities that you can take advantage of. Don't let this noise that comes around the market, people saying that, oh, you shouldn't be trading GameStop, you're some type of crazy person if you trade this stock. Don't let that noise get in the way of real, true technical analysis that can find you some really strong setups. And that's something that I'm doing, and that's how I was able to make just around $2,600 to $2,700 today on GameStop. So here it is. Here's the 15-minute chart. We're going to start in the 15-minute chart, and we're going to break it down to the 1-minute chart. So 15-minute chart here, what you guys will see is that yesterday's highs were right around this 187 level. So I had this level, this sort of supply zone on my charts coming into today. I knew that I wanted to watch this 187 area. Today, we were able to break through that, and what you guys will notice here on the 15-minute chart, we held it beautifully before spiking up and going straight up and now consolidating and moving higher in the after hours. So that's the first thing. This is very broad. This is the first very broad sort of field that I was looking at on GameStop. I was waiting to see, can this 187 hold from yesterday's highs? And it indeed did today. And that's what gave me a little bit more confidence that I wanted to trade this today. So breaking this down to the 1 minute and talking you through what I was looking at today, we're going to ignore what happened earlier in the day. We're going to look at just here until this move started to happen. So right here is the 1-minute chart on GameStop. And let's go ahead and walk through what was happening today before the huge move that we saw. So we had the big move on GameStop. And what you guys will notice is that we were holding up. We were not just tanking from the highs. We didn't give up the entire move. When I look at a chart like this, the first thing that comes into my mind is that I have to watch this for an afternoon move. If a stock moves higher, consolidates for a few hours at a very important support level, so you guys can see this previous resistance of yesterday's highs was now turning into support. And I'll delete the zone because it's not even a zone, it's almost to the dollar amount. So right here we have these yesterday's highs of around 187, right? And look at these bounces that we saw today. One perfect bounce there and another perfect bounce there. So looking at just technicals, this was holding yesterday's highs. It was holding it as support. And if this was another stock like Apple or Tesla or Square, I would love that. And there should be no reason why you don't love that on GameStop as well, because the technicals hold true. So the technicals held true on GameStop today. So before the big move, I was still watching this stock because it was holding very, very well. Now, if we fast forward, what do we have? We have a few highs up here. The first high was this 194.50 area. 194.50 had that marked out on the charts. And the next was this wick high of around 195.32. So 195.32 was the next high that I was watching. So if we zoom forward, we move this forward, I did not catch this first break. So this first break that we're looking at, I did not catch that. So let's zoom into that here. I did not catch this first break on the far right. We broke through highs, very nice high of day break. And what did we do? We did a perfect break and retest of support. So we broke through of 195 and we retested it. And what did we do at the retest? We found perfect support. Broke through 195, turned back, retested it, and bounced off of it once again. Once I saw that, that was okay. GameStop's different right now. GameStop is going to be doing something here. These are some really strong technical holds. Break and retest formation, hold of the 9 EMA. I want to make sure that I'm watching this for a potential move. So we move forward. What do we get? We get a huge move, a break through that psychological $200 level. So I'm just going to go ahead and move this over so this is center of the charts. So now we have this $200 psychological level that was broken. Now, this is where I started to get interested, and this is where I started to get into this trade. I did not just chase it on this huge candle up to 200. I waited for a pullback. We waited for a pullback, and I got in here at 220. So right here on this red candle, I figured, okay, we're pulling back to the 9 EMA, and with my strategy with the 9 EMA, as long as the stock holds above that 9 EMA, I am going to hold the position. If there are 2 red consecutive candles that open and close below the 9 EMA, I am out of the position. And what I mean by open and close, that is example right here. So here, real quick, this isn't open and close. These are 2 red consecutive candles that are opening and closing below the 9 EMA. And that is where I think the momentum gets lost, and that's where I start to exit. But we did not see that, right? So I got in here at 220, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for you guys right now. I'll show you my entry on this position. All right, guys, so in the top left, you're going to see my order book for today's trades on Interactive Brokers. I did trade this quite a bit. You guys can see some in and out action here, just sort of scalping it, cutting losses short, taking quick wins. The big trade was right here at the top. So I bought 3 GameStop May 28th 210 calls, and I bought those at 14.20. And you can see this is not a screenshot. This is real. I can scroll this up and down. So this is not just fake. This is real Interactive Brokers, and this is my trade. So 14.20, that's 2:20 p.m., and that is right here on this red candle. So I bought here on this pullback, and I held this because the 9 EMA told me to hold it, and I'm just keeping this systematic. As long as the 9 EMA tells me to hold it, I am in this trade. So I held it, we consolidated, we started to bounce off this 9 EMA, and we got this huge breakthrough of all-time, or not all-time highs, of intraday highs. Continued to ride it higher, I continued to held, no reason to sell here because the blue line is the 9 EMA, and that thing is still holding the 9 EMA. We got a little bit overextended here over the 9 EMA, and on this red candle right here, it felt like a little bit of a blow off top. I started to see a lot of sellers stepping in, and you'll notice that I started to unload some of my contracts. I sold 2 contracts at 14.42, which is 2:42 p.m., which is this candle right here on this red candle. I sold 2 contracts for just about $12 per contract profit, locking in just around $2,400 on my first 2 contracts. Now I continue to hold my last contract. I don't know where it is right now. I think it closed around $13 or $12 per contract, so about another $400 on the one that I'm still holding, which is unrealized. So overall, unrealized about $400 and realized about $2,400 right now on GameStop. Now the reason I held this is because it's GameStop, right? It's GameStop. We've seen what GameStop can do, and we see what GameStop can do in the after hours. And I've already locked in $2,400. So if anything, I'll lose some of my profits. I'm not going to go red on the position. I locked in my winners, and I let a runner sort of ride and see if GameStop can push in the after hours, because you have seen this before. You've seen GameStop go crazy in the after hours. You've seen it go up $50, $100 a share. And I wanted to at least leave one on the table just to see if I can squeak out a few more dollars on this position. So one of the other reasons that I did hold it was because we really did close pretty well. After we hit this new high right here, we pulled back and we held these highs right here. We bounced off of this twice, a nice little double bottom, and we also were well above this previous resistance. We never touched it as support around 205. So I was watching this 205. If we cracked below that, I would reconsider my thought process. Maybe I just go ahead and take these profits totally, not ride one into tomorrow. But we had a perfect double bottom here that I was sharing with the chat, and we bounced off it beautifully and held into the after hours. And now, if we look what's going on in the after hours, let me go ahead and zoom out. We can see that GameStop is starting to do what GameStop does, and it's making a run in the after hours. Now, of course, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to hold up into tomorrow. And if it doesn't, I'll take a small loss on probably that contract. But I still locked in a nice percent of my profit. So the risk is very low for me at this time. So that's my trade on GameStop, guys. What you'll notice in an overview of this trade is that the technical analysis was pretty spot on. It was there. We broke highs right here, broke those highs, did a nice break and retest. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom into that for you guys to make this a little bit more clear. Right here. There's your highs back of 195. We can see we did a perfect break and retest of that support, held the 9 EMA, bounced higher, continued higher. We moved back, bounced to the 9 EMA, made a little bit of a flag pattern, bounced off the 9 EMA here, and continued higher. I got in at this pullback. If it broke below the 9, I was out of the trade for a small loss. If it holds it, I'm going to go ahead and ride these profits. So a pretty technical type trade. Nothing too crazy, not a lot of risk. So it was a good trade overall. And this video, I'm just trying to show you what I did with this trade, how I traded it, and how GameStop really does hold these technical levels quite well. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something from it. If you have any questions on the trade, feel free to comment them down below. All right, guys, so that's about all that I have for you in today's video. A nice trade, a nice profit, and I still am holding one more contract into tomorrow, so we will see what happens. I wanted to jump on here, share with you that trade, show you the technical analysis that I did, and how GameStop can really hold these levels and do some really nice technical patterns that you can take advantage of if you're paying close attention to those levels and to the technical analysis. So guys, before you head out, please press that like button for me, subscribe to the channel for some future videos, press that bell notification so that you guys are alerted every single time that I go live from 8 a.m. to 8:45 in the morning. With that said, I hope you have a great rest of your night. Make sure to watch GameStop tomorrow. You could potentially find some opportunity again. Peace out.